Well, we finally made it. This is day 9 of our 9-day countdown project, and we are going to put all the final little pieces together and get it displayed and ready to show everyone what we've made. Now, I know 9 days in a project, I've broken it down into smaller pieces just so it's a lot easier for you to put together. Now, I know our workshop is going to start tomorrow, and we have 7 more projects for you, so it'd be really nice for you to be able to finish off this project. You're all warmed up now for a wonderful 2-day workshop. So let's get over to the demo table and start putting the final pieces together. Now, I've got the pieces that we've already done are already put together here, and now we have our final strip, which is going to go together. And once again, this is our final strip. It wants to stick to me. And then we have our 2 pieces that are going to glue in. And as before, this is going to glue in just like this. And it's going to come out so we get a real 3D effect. But we need to decorate it first. It's a lot easier to decorate it before we get into any of the other pieces. Now we have all these strips we've been making all along over the last 9 days. We have these presents that were the hand-drawn. I pre-colored mine in, and I simply used the Sakura glaze pens. I have a set of 16, so I just chose my colors from here and just colored them in. I'm just setting these aside to dry. They're still not quite dry, and we still have our 2 trees from the other day. I'll just move those aside. And then we have to decide, how do we want the presents to be distributed? Now what's really interesting is we have 2 trees either side, so we can put a group of presents on this side and a group of presents on this side. Let me just pull this down a bit, show you that once again. So once this flips in, we have lots of presents, but then we can do something in the middle. For example, we could put our other trees in the middle, or we can leave them for another part of the decor. So let's start planning this out. I'm just going to flatten this out. And we have a couple of trees. We have these presents. I think I'll put those in the middle, but we have all kinds of other little presents here. So let me inside up. So let's see, we've got 2, 4, I'm just dividing them up, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we've got 6 for either side that we can start playing with, and then we can start gluing these all together. So just bring this down so we can see everything that's going on. So we want 6 under this tree, 6 under this tree, and maybe the 2 ones we've colored, those will go in the middle, or we can add another tree on the outside here and put all the presents under one. So we have a choice. So we have another tree that we can put into place right here, and we can add those. But I think we'll use these to stand up a little later. So I just want to fold these back just so I don't glue anything where I don't want it to be. Now with presents, you want to give it some height, and you want to give it you know, a little bit of depth to it so it doesn't look like flat set of presents. And of course I have all kinds of these little foam pads that we can use. There's big ones, I've got big ones, middle ones. So you can see some of these are pretty big. So you can grab a sheet of smaller ones as well. I always have a whole bunch of these around, and these were out by Multicraft, and they're just pop dot adhesives, so you can use those at any time. I'm going to use these small ones for this particular project, and as you can see, I've got a lot of them in here. So let me just take this apart. So I'm going to start by putting, say, a larger present on either side. I'm going to put it flat on the back. So I'm just going to use my glue for that. And then we're going to have the other presents are just going to go on top. I'm just going to put it into place. It doesn't need to be straight by any means. Okay, so that's our back layer of the gift. And now we're going to start layering things on top. So let's just grab one of our little dots here. Choose this one. This is going to give it a really nice effect by simply having presents just layered. So there's one here. Let's just do one side at a time. And let's see, let's go for a red one here. And put this one down here. And let's go for another one here. Peel the back. You can actually put them on top of each other like this, even sideways. So you're building up a really nice set of presents right in the middle. I just love these. Let's see, I can almost put one on top of this here, and maybe the last one in the middle. Put that one right on top, so it looks like it's really built up. It really looks adorable. Okay, let's get on with the next set. Grab these off of here. These foam dots just make life so much easier when you're building up layers as well. Grab another one here. Present down here. Actually put this one on top over here. Got a couple more to go. That makes 6. You know, you could print some more of these and add more if you wanted to. That one in between. We have one more left here. Add that one up there. So now we have our gifts that are going to look like they're underneath the tree. So that's what these will look like. And now we want to add something in the middle here. Now we could add another tree if you want to. That would actually look quite nice. But we also have these other ones, and this one's still a bit wet. Now I cut mine out differently, so I'm just going to trim this up a bit so I don't have more white than I need. So I'm just going to grab one of these dots. This is not dry by any means. Lay it down flat. Looks like I need a few more here. Let's grab this one out of here. It looks like it lost its top anyway. Put a couple on this one. So you can color these any way you want. I mean, it's just a lot of fun because they are hand drawn. Okay, I'm going to be very careful in how I do that, so I'm just going to take my weeding tool and just push it down. Now this is going to look incredible. And then we're going to put it down on the foundation, and we are going to add a little bit of decor to the foundation using these extra pieces that we've made. Let me just move stuff out of the way here. So we are ready to glue this down. Side. This side. Get that matching. Get a pretty straight. And then you're lining it up with the bottom, and that's the important part, that you do line it up with the bottom, because we're going to stand this up. Let's hold it down for a second or two. As you can see, this is really coming together. Now you can add other decoration. It just fades into the background, so you really don't notice it. Just bring our foundation back in, and we'll set our sides all ready to go with that foundation. There we go. Bring this up. I'm just going to hold it down so you can see it. Great. All right. So this is going to set up just like this. Now, one last thing we want to do here is we can decorate in this part too. And this is where these trees are going to come in handy, because we can move them from side to side here. Now, these are not perfectly flat, so what I'm going to do is just snip the bottoms so it'll stand up a little better. Same with this one. Just cut it flat. Now, in order for these to stand up, we need to have a little frame, and that's where these little frames came in. We're going to fold that in half, and then it's got two pieces, one top and one bottom. So what we want to be able to do is have our tree stand up. So if we held it together just like this at the bottom, and then we brought the other one up to the top. So the first thing is you want these two bottom pieces to fit in right together. So I'm going to add a little glue here, and I know it's hard to see because it's white on white, but I've got my two little flaps. I'm going to glue the bottom flap in place, and I'm just going to let it dry. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just grab one of these, just fold them in, and fold it. It's just a little triangle. Turn this around. Just going to add a little glue to the bottom here, and then I am going to glue my flap on right there. I want them to line up at the bottom. Okay, we'll just let it dry for a second. I'll get rid of this extra little bit of paper so it's not in our way. All right, our next job, of course, is we want these to sit on our front. So I'm going to glue this part down. So just this part. But I have to remember I have to place it and just let it dry in place before I finish it off. Okay, same thing with this. I just want the bottom piece here. And then we're going to place our tree. Now we've worked with several ideas here. We've only got a couple little more glue things to do, and that's our final little glue piece here. And we want to hold the tree back. We're going to have it lean just a little bit. Going to hold it into place. I'm just pinching it. And the same thing here, just the little flap. You can see that I'm just adding to the flap. And then I'm just going to push it down until I have the tree exactly where I want it. And then I'm just going to squish it together. And it'll give it a little bit of a lean, but enough that we can see it. Now this is our beautiful little mantelpiece design. Now you can glue these little flaps in if you want to. You do not have to glue them in. You can fold them in behind if you want, so they're behind the gifts, because that's why we had them just pasted on separately. And here is our gorgeous mantelpiece project. This took us 9 days to put together, but man, is it ever worth it. There are so many more things you can do with it. It has given you some ideas about what you can do, And I know you're going to love putting this together. And I'm just going to, it's on the side here, so we've got a couple of trees on the outside, a couple in the middle, and of course our background and our fireplace. So there's many different layers that you can add to it. So I really hope you had a lot of fun putting this together, and I will see you at the workshop.